Now, Israeli Defense Force spokesman has delivered a message to the residents of Gaza City. The message says that the IDF has called on all residents of Gaza City to evacuate their homes and to move south for their protection and settle in the area south of the Gaza River. So this is the message that has been delivered by the IDF spokesman to the residents of the Gaza City, and the IDF has called on all residents of Gaza City to evacuate their homes and to move south for their protection and to settle in the area south of the Gaza River. Remember, tensions continue, and Israel continues its attack on the Gaza Strip, and as the complete siege of the Gaza Strip continues. Now, Israeli Defense Force spokesman has delivered a message to the residents of the Gaza City. The Israeli Defense Force has called on all residents of Gaza City to evacuate their homes and to move south for their protection and settle in the area of the Gaza River. So this is the message that is coming in from the IDF spokesman. Let's listen in to some reaction on this.
A few hours ago to Gazan civilians, and the aim here is to minimize the damage to civilians. There are significant combat operations ongoing, and we are preparing for future and the continuance of our combat operations, and out of an understanding that there are civilians here whom are not our enemy and we do not want to target them, we are asking them to evacuate so that we will be able to continue to strike military targets belonging to Hamas in the Gaza Strip. That is the purpose, and I think that's an important update, relevant for you to be aware of. This is a first notice that we gave. We understand that this will take time. It's not an easy process, but we have issued this guidance, and the aim of the evacuation is simply to save lives. As you may have read in the media, this was communicated to UN authorities, first and foremost to UN authorities, and the IDF is in communications and liaison with UN authorities, transferring information to them and also listening to what the UN informs Israel about the humanitarian situation in Gaza. And as I've said many times during the last 7 days, the IDF remains fully committed to the law of international conflict. We will carry ourselves accordingly, in sharp contrast to the enemies around us and to Hamas, which is in total disregard of anything related to values, norms, and definitely not the laws of armed conflict.
And now CNN News 18, Siddhant Mishra is joining us on this story. Siddhant, so big message coming in from the Israeli Defense Forces asking the residents of the Gaza City to evacuate. So is Israel planning to intensify its attack?
Well, yes. In fact, from last maybe 24 hours, 48 hours, we have been hearing that how tanks and heavy armored vehicles, infantry are being moved to the border areas. So, we were expecting some sort of a ground operation which is going to be carried out by Israel, or perhaps Israel is preparing for the same. Look, the focus is to dismantle, destroy the terror launch pads in Gaza area, but at the same time, the more important task, or perhaps the challenging task before IDF, is to rescue the hostage. Now, in fact, the Americans are the hostage, Britishers are the hostage, the citizens from France are the hostage in Hamas's custody. So to rescue them is going to be the task, and for that, IDF has to send boots on ground. And perhaps it looks like the way this press conference has been carried out, or perhaps this media address has been carried out by Jonathan, who happens to be the chief spokesperson of IDF. Now, he has said and asked people to evacuate their houses, to leave their houses and move to the riverside, because they all have been warned for the heavy bombarding. At the same time, some sort of an operation in that area. So civilian life should not get affected, and no civilian should be killed in the strike. So this precaution is being taken. Also, Israel wants to tell the world that Israel is following the international laws when it comes to fighting war. They are taking utmost precautions so that no civilian is dead or gets killed in the counter-offensive. Now we can expect, maybe not today, tomorrow, but that Israel can start the ground operation. We can also expect some other country to join Israel in the ground operation to rescue the hostage from the Hamas's custody. So that is something which the IDF has to confirm. But right now we have this confirmation, and this is what IDF is telling us, that a particular patch in Gaza Strip has been people on that patch has been told to evacuate, to leave their homes, their places, and move to the riverside because the IDF is going to dismantle, destroy some of the terror targets there on that particular patch.
All right, Siddhant, thank you for getting us all those latest details. Now let's listen in to what Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bagchi had to say on this ongoing war.
I think we've been very clear that we see this as a terrorist attack. But on the designation part, the relevant authorities are best placed to respond to it. How do we see the situation on Palestine, or our position on that? Our policy in this regard has been long-standing and consistent. India has always advocated the resumption of direct negotiations towards establishing a sovereign, independent and viable state of Palestine, living within secure and recognized borders, side by side, at peace with Israel. And I think that position remains the same.